everybody, so it's Divisive Legend making another recording. This is to talk about the video I uploaded yesterday from where I was on the bus. So, let me just start by saying, I hope what I showed you guys last night on that bus shows everything about what I've been saying about black communities. You could hear the noise, the ignorant, disruptive behavior, the disrespect, and not giving a shit about anybody else. Completely uncivilized behavior that's exhibited in that community, and that is very common in that community. The bus I was on was on the 5. It's going from Brooklyn Center to the Mall of America, going through north, south, and downtown Minneapolis and everything. So it goes through Minneapolis, through pretty much all black communities. It's all black area, basically. Now, with that being said, how much of that bus ride was that I showed you in that recording? How much of that would you see in a white community? How much of that foul behavior? Because I don't recall any times more than what I can count on one hand that I've seen it in a white community. However, in a black community, I see it every time I get on the bus. It's a disruption to my ride. It is a disruption to my enjoyment. And the sad thing is, we need to look deeper at this problem. The driver said absolutely nothing to them. Why did the driver say absolutely nothing to them? Because if the driver did, they would have lashed out at him. Pretty much I could almost think they would physically, but we know they would at least lash out at him verbally. We don't know about physical. I can more than assume that they would. In fact, it's more than safe to assume they would lash out physical. But we know they would verbal. If anybody on that bus had asked them to quiet down, same thing, they would have lashed out. And the sad thing about this is an example of what I've talked about with black privilege. People are afraid to say anything to a black person when they're acting out. Because if they do, the black person will react in a very, very violent manner and very aggressive manner. Now, another aspect of black privilege is that if it's not for fear of how you will retaliate, it is fear that when you retaliate, people will defend you and say you don't know better, and it'll automatically be turned into a race thing. So no matter what, you're at a disadvantage in anything with a black person because of their race. So, now we go to the fact of, let's just look at the people on the bus and what was going on. Here's the thing about it. Think about this. Look at how the men were acting. Just look at them. The men were basically, you could tell that they were gang affiliated, disruptive, thugs, and they were taking part of criminal behavior. You knew there was criminal involvement that they had because of how they were acting. Like they had already threatened to steal off the driver before I got to recording. And by steal off, I mean hit. So, violent, gangbanging thug. Black male. This is what these black women are admiring and worshiping and wanting. This is what they are raising the African American sons to be like. And then you get these black women. Look at how ignorant, disruptive, rowdy, everything. This is what is raising our children in our black communities. The daughters are being raised to be like them. And the boys are being raised to be like those guys, basically. So, let's talk about something else. People can say that not all black kids are raised by a single mother. That's true. But here's what I want you to think. And I want black people I know on here Anybody black who sees this, please answer this question in the comments. How many black women do you know have a child and are not with the father of their child? Comparative to how many do you know have a child and are with the father of their child? So, which do you see? More single black mothers, or black mothers that have baby daddy problems or are not with him? Or black women that are with the father? Because I have seen substantially more of the black women not with the father. How many of you watching this have seen this kind of behavior on a daily basis in black areas? And how many times have you seen it in white communities? I guarantee you, you will almost never see it in a white community, because I've lived in both kinds of communities. So, I've obviously said that this is a black woman thing. And it's not just the women, it's the way the culture behaves in general. Now, my biggest thing is they're going to blame Whitey. They're going to blame Whitey for them acting this way. And that's another reason you can't say anything to blacks. They will always go and turn to blame the white man. And say the white man holds them down. The white man is trying to ruin their lives. Whoop-de-woo. Well, how is the white man ruining anyone's life when you're acting out this way? And you are maybe the reason that blacks are having so many problems with police is because of the way they're acting, as I was able to show last night. So here's what I'm going to start doing for you guys. I'm going to prove that this bus is not an isolated incident. Actually, then again, I have, because I did it on the 68 as well. But I'm going to prove that this is not two isolated incidents. I'm going to record the next bus ride I go on when there's things like this again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually record a video when I'm on the bus in a white community. So that way you can hear this from the entire start of the ride to finish. Because the thing is, I could play little sound clips of the bus in black communities. Anyone could tell you that's been on a bus in a black community. This always happens. But the reason that I'm going to do it and record a whole video on the bus in a white community is because I want everyone to see this ride from start to finish and see that there is no drama, no bullshit, no yelling, none of that like what you see there. And if I do have any of it get on, it'll be with a predominantly black group of people that you'll see that problem. And I can guarantee you that. So like I said, I will be taking the bus out today, and I will be in a white community. So I'll make sure to record the entire ride. And I will upload the entire ride. So with that being said, Divisive Legend is out. Real news, real exposure. Peace.